So for video number 2, I figured I'd talk a little bit about the GoFundMe campaign itself, what my goal was, where I was coming from to start it, where I'm at with all of this. I'm doing this because I've gotten a lot of advice from friends who have been involved in nonprofits and fundraising and stuff like that. And uh, the advice has all been much appreciated. It's been some good advice. Some of it I've taken and ran with. Some of it I can see where they're coming from and understand why it would be done that way, but it doesn't necessarily apply to my situation or what I'm trying to do. Uh, Obviously, I'm not a slick professional outfit. You can probably tell I'm doing these videos from my home office on my laptop. Uh, Hopefully, moving forward, I can get some better equipment going. But I didn't. I launched it because I have spent years talking about doing it and coming up with excuses for why I couldn't and why I needed to wait and what needed to happen first and all of these other reasons for delaying. And I finally, talked to a friend who basically said, "Look, you're always going to come up with a reason for not doing it. Just make it happen. Just step out there. And, if it's meant to be, then the pieces will fall into place. It might not happen right away. It might not happen in the time frame you're looking for, but get something going." And so that's what I did. I did some research for GoFundMe. I did some research on nonprofits in general. I did some research on fundraising. I didn't go into it completely cold, thinking, "Hey, I'm going to launch a GoFundMe campaign and have a couple $1 million in a couple days." That wasn't my approach. But at the same time, I wasn't an already existing outfit. It wasn't a case where I had a bunch of big donors or even small donors already lined up to make a big splash when the campaign hits, and to get noticed by GoFundMe, get featured, all of those things. And I've been sent articles, and I've had friends talk to me and mention all of those things. And I think those were helpful and very important. And that's great if you can make it happen that way. But my GoFundMe, at least initially, was not intended to make a big splash on GoFundMe itself. It was intended to be a way for my friends and family that are scattered across the country and around the world, who I reached out to one-on-one personally, to be able to make a contribution or a donation. Uh, that was the original intent of the GoFundMe. I wasn't worried about the big splash and having people lined up and all of this other stuff. That being said, sure, I would love to have people notice my campaign on GoFundMe and run with it, you know. Uh, but my initial goals, if you've read any of the documents or the supporting information I've put onto the campaign site, was to raise the money initially that I could use to then stop my full-time job and work full-time on this. And there's a reason why I'm doing it from that approach is I am bipolar. I have gotten that at least as manageable as it can be in treatment, etc., etc. I went through some dark periods with that. I had problems and issues. Some of those resulted in incarceration. Uh, I struggled with it for years, and that's not to say I don't still struggle with it, but I've reached a point where I can work and I can function in life. And but the drawback to that is still that most days I work, I eat, I sleep, and that's a good day. I am not satisfied with that. I want more, but it's still those are good days. Uh, but it means that if I'm working a full-time job, I'm unlikely to have much time, and I don't. I try to do this stuff on my days off and stuff like that, but that can be difficult as well. So if I'm able to focus fully on this, that this is my job, I know that I can make some things happen. I know that I can schedule meetings. I know that if that day, if my good hours happen to be 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., then that's okay. I can make that happen and still get my sleep in or whatever else needs to be done. Uh, And right now, I'm looking at the fact that this video is already at 5 minutes, and that's another recommendation that they give you is that videos should be 3 minutes long or less. But anyway, like I said, my initial goal was the $25,000 to $50,000. If I hit the $50,000 mark, that's enough money for me to spend 2 years focused full time on looking for larger donors to hit my ultimate goal of 1.5 million. And that's what I'm looking to do with the campaign. I have a lot of leads, a lot of recommendations, a lot of potential contacts, uh, and so I'm hoping to get some of those working and at least hit my initial goal by the end of 2019. So I hope that you will come along for the ride and help me